got my coffee latte with the flavor of carrot cake, and it was pretty amazing. And we are up for a treat. Actually, the next session is really interesting, and I'm super excited about it because it's a session about coffee tech. Who doesn't like coffee? And actually, we have the chance and the pleasure to get here on stage somebody who's in charge of boosting productivity and well-being here at Wealth Summit. And this is the co-founder, or actually founder and CEO of ETNO Cafe, Łukasz Mrowiński. Welcome on stage.
Hello.
He's also a podcaster, by the way.
Yes,
one thing we're going to talk about.
Podcast is called Coffee on Air. So
Coffee
I would
on
like.
Air.
This is, unfortunately, it's only in Polish, but this is another reason to learn Polish. So
there you go. And then I also would like to welcome on stage Wiesław Kotecki from Deloitte Digital, another podcaster, by the way.
So excellent podcaster. Yeah. We also invite everybody to listen to his podcast that is called Człowiek, Biznes, Technologia. Unfortunately, also in Polish, but another reason to learn Polish.
There you go. So, guys, enjoy your cup of coffee, and I can't wait to hear more about the future of coffee tech.
Okay, thank you very much. One thing that we should explain to you, this is about something about tech that doesn't work properly because we are in two and we sent our speakers note to the cloud, but Wiesław speakers note disappeared completely, so I am only here, but he's with me just at the table. So let's start.
Yeah, first of all, it's great to be here, even incognito. Maybe it's even better. Because for many years I was actually thinking about going to one of the biggest startup conferences, right? But I wouldn't think that I'll be here actually talking about coffee, right? Not about startups, not about tech, business, but coffee. So there is something special in coffee, right? So that's even at such a conference like Wealth Summit, there's a place of actually talking about coffee, right?
Yes, I think so. And we had a first occasion to do that, to talk about coffee, about technology in coffee, in March, as far as I remember this year, at your podcast, because we started to think how technology can be involved in coffee. Because, as you said, coffee is something that we use every day. So this is everyday product, but this is very special kind of product, very magic. So a lot of people fall in love with coffee after the first sips. So because this is the product that we usually don't think about because it's like a commodity. So you use it every day, but this is a fantastic wonderland that has a lot of dimensions, a lot of colors, a lot of tastes, and a lot of smells. So you can enjoy it, and you can add also technology, and that's what we want to underline and we want to talk about.
Yeah, this is nice sentence that I found from Ben Fishman. It's the guy who actually invested in one of the biggest startups called Trade, and he said that people use shampoo or paper towels every day, and they are fine with that. But they don't have the same emotional relationship with these products that the same people have with their morning cup of coffee, which is part of how they wake up. It's the ritual. So, I mean, the coffee is a little bit magic, right?
Yeah, this is a good word, ritual. Ritual because around the coffee we can build a lot of rituals. And also you can be involved in coffee so much that you can somehow make a completely career shift, as I made 10 years ago. So I quit my career as a tax advisor, as a lawyer, and I fell in love completely with coffee. And now I am developing something that is very useful for our customers, for our teams, a lot of people that are using coffee every day.
Yeah, and you said they're using every day, right? And if we look at the numbers, there are some reports saying that the market of actually coffee, it's going to be worth $65 billion in the next 3 years. Right?
Yes, more or less it's like
so
that.
So it's amazingly huge, right? So, and it's said that now actually we are seeing like somebody says the third wave of actually coffee revolution, right? The first was at the beginning of the 20th century.
Yes, it
when
was.
actually, you know,
The coffee was available in the shops. That was
yeah,
the
the
first.
company like Maxwell House actually make coffee popular all around the world. The
Yes.
second one was like in 90s, like the Starbucks and Cafe Nero actually appeared, and you know it's just boosted. And now with all the craft coffee revolution, like in the craft beer, right, we see another wave of making this industry even bigger and bigger.
Yes, and coffee become very popular and something that is worth of your interest. A lot of people is involved in coffee not only because they know that this is something fantastic. It can has a lot of dimensions. A lot of people is trying right now to think above the coffee. So, for example, if you look at the Kickstarter campaigns, there are a lot of coffee devices, new ways of brewing, new ways of roasting coffee. So, of course, the most of them are not successful in the market because they are too dedicated to the coffee niches. So it's like something for nerd in the nerd category, but they are. So a lot of people try to rise something that can be game changer in our industry, and some of them are really game changers. So we can talk about it.
Okay, but the topic of this session is actually about the coffee tech, right? And as I said, the industry of coffee, it's not something new. It's like 300 years old, right?
Yes, more or less.
So it's like banking or like insurance, right? And we see that even in those really mature markets and industries, we see the revolution based on tech, right? All of us are talking about fintechs, about insurtechs, even the medtechs or the cleantechs, any kind of techs, actually, right?
Yes, it is.
And I understand that, as you said, it's coffee tech. It's a little bit like a niche, but I understand that it's a part of food tech, right? Isn't it?
It is hard to define because I started to use that term a couple of months ago, something that is called coffee tech, because when you take a look at the food tech category, it is very huge, very wide category of many products, many apps, many solutions. But also there are appearing new category that could be defined as a niche in food tech. For example, a lot of people knows Vivino, so the app that can helps you to choose the right wine for your preferences based on the ratings that are made by the customers that already drank it. So this is called wine tech, and wine tech has also other solutions, other apps that can be used to exchange bottles of wine, etc., etc. So why not to apply it to the coffee industry? Because there are a lot of innovative initiatives that are happening right now in the coffee industry. But I think that it's time to start to say coffee tech about such a things.
But regarding wine tech, I have this dinner like 1 or 2 months ago with my friends, and we went to the restaurant, and when we were ordering the wine, actually one of us just took this Vivino app, right, and said, okay, so I need to figure it out the quality of wine, right? So I said, okay, so you have an app for the wine, and the other said, look, I have the app for the beer called Untapped. So he said, I just tried 400 types of beer within the last 6 months. I said, wow, 400. And then when I was ordering the gin, the other guy said, do you have this app for gin? So this is also gin tech. Actually, right?
Gin tech, niche in the niche.
Exactly, right. So I was so amazed. So I just took this gin, and he said, for this gin, the only tonic that you can take is this, and the addition on that, like the cauliflower or something, right? So that was really amazing, right? So do you think that we'll be living in the times that every time I'll be going to the coffee place, or I'm just making a coffee, I'll be using like the different apps for that?
I think so, and I know that in some brains, some people think about how to create a kind of Vivino app for coffee, but this is not so easy because in case of wine, you have to choose the bottle, but because the bottle is finished result of winemaker work, but in coffee you got for example, only roasted beans, but this is not the final result because well-skilled barista can prepare something that is outstanding, but someone who is not so skilled can ruin that beans. But based on your preferences, that for example you like origins like Costa Rica, like Ethiopia, that app can suggest you that this coffee will be good for you because based on your preferences, we think that it is something worth of your interest. Of course, if the coffee that you drink in the morning and in the evening can be different in taste because your taste buds are in the different conditions. So for example, if we combine such app with the calendar, with the weather forecast, etc., with other factors, it can suggest you something that can be very well fitted to your preferences in the given time. So I would love to develop such app, but it will be not easy. But it will be really coffee tech because it will be based on data, based on AI algorithms. So this is a lot to think about it.
Yeah,
Thank you for that idea.
Yeah, but there is this, I think UK based or maybe US based, doesn't matter. We check it. Startup that actually working on the idea that you mentioned, but they also mix it with the subscription model. So you are just actually paying for the subscription model, and you are getting different type of coffee in the morning, and in the evening, in the same day, like I think it's a cold brew thing. So you are just getting a cold brew in the morning, which is double caffeine. Then it's a double amount of caffeine than in the evening.
Yes.
So you get one can for the morning, one can for the evening, paying like on a monthly basis.
Yeah, I know that there are some apps that are counting the level of caffeine that you already use during the day. So it's kind of like alcometer. So, but this is caffeine meters, and it can be also very useful for heavy users of coffee because you have to think how many coffee you already drank and what you can afford in the evening, for example, because for someone it's nothing to drink another cup of coffee in the evening and go sleep, but for the other person is to not sleep at all. So
Yeah,
this kind of app can help you to make the right decision.
Even if you connect it with the smartwatch,
Yes.
say, no more coffee for you, Wiesław. No more today.
Or just imagine that the smartwatch communicates with the barista that is suggesting you that maybe I can say that you are already over caffeinated. This is the right word. So you should choose the decaf coffee, for example.
Maybe. Okay, Łukasz, but like going back to technology, right? Because we know that the journey from I don't know, from Brazil or from Colombia, from the plant, through getting the beans and roasting, then shipping to Europe, and then to coffee place, it's quite long one, right? And probably there are many ways that technology can disrupt the process, right? During our podcast, we were talking about the blockchain stuff, right? So the apps that can actually manage the quality of roasting, and then you can roast at the same time in Europe than in Colombia, right? All that stuff. But looking at the whole process, where you see actually the biggest spaces for disruption for yourself?
Those things that you mentioned that are in the supply chain are rather niche and products, very specialized, because they are for farmers, they are for importers, green coffee buyers, etc. So this is something that will not become very popular because it doesn't attract the big group of people. But when we can find the plenty of people that would be potentially interested in such software, such app, because we think about app as a mobile app in particular, but it can be also constructed in the other way. But I think that the main field to develop technology in coffee is when the coffee meets people. So in the coffee shops or at home, because the market coffee at home developed during the pandemic time very quickly, and this is a huge market. and it has been changed because it existed before, but now it's completely changed. So I think that those kind of things that you already mentioned, like subscriptions models, this is something that will be also developed, and there are a lot of there is a big field for development of AI data-driven solutions, and also in coffee shop, because, for example, we are facing not only in Poland but all over the world the big problem of manpower, because people don't want to work anymore in the hospitality sector because this is unpredictable. So once you got your job, tomorrow you can be fired because of the lack of that job. So this is the place when I think, and we started to think about it, we started to develop apps that will help our people to be more focused on customer service instead of doing a lot of things at the back end. For example, preparation of sandwiches, preparation of coffee, etc. Because there are some devices, there are some machines that can prepare coffee that will be not recognizable from the coffee made by well-skilled barista. And this is amazing because you can give your barista, your employees, something that will help them to save the time and to focus on customer service. And I think this is the main field where the coffee tech can be developed.
Okay, so you are saying that the place that you want actually to focus is coffee experience, like from the people perspective, from the perspective of the customer actually entering the coffee place or just doing the coffee in home or maybe in the work, right? Because it's also employee experience, right? I mean, coffee is an important part of our work, definitely for me. So the experience for the customer, the experience for barista or for your employer, right? So if you can imagine the experience from the people's perspective in the future, right? So what kind of experience I can expect as a customer? I'm entering your coffee place, your ETNO cafe place of the future. What's going to happen over there in your dreams?
In my dreams, I would love to have our barista focus on the customer service. So, entering into the coffee shop is, I think, just to imagine the best way of making customer service is to go to southern countries like Italy and to see what is the kind of relationship between the barista, very often the owner of the bar, with the people. So everybody who is entering into the coffee shop is known by the barista. He knows what to offer to that customer, etc., etc. So to make kind of theater inside of the barista at the counter. So to focus on customer service. I am repeating it, but this is something that is the most crucial part of the whole experience in the coffee shop. So if there is relationship between barista and the customer, he can offer him many various things, food, coffee, because we have to remember.
He knows him.
Yeah, because he knows him, he knows his preferences, etc. But app can help him to remember what does this guy that is coming as a customer choose, because this is something that give you better suggestion. Also, we can give our customers space to be at their own, because this is not like that everybody wants to talk to barista, wants to be involved in a small chat, but a lot of people prefer to sit down at the table and carefully choose the right food, the right coffee. And it needs time, without any pressure from the barista side and from the queue side. Because if you are, just imagine the situation that you are standing at the counter, you are looking at the menu, and you have to think, oh, what is this coffee about? Why they call it so? And there is no time to ask about such thing. And also, it is a little bit people are afraid about asking such things, because they can be deemed as you don't know it, so how you find it? Yes. So
every time I'm going to the wine shop, it's like, so what would you like to have? How the hell do I know? I don't know.
Yeah, and you probably will say something from Italy, the red wine, and that's it. But the app that you can sit down at the table and can suggest you, and you can describe you properly, give you more information about the given product, can give you time to choose the right food at the time. So I think that this is something that we should develop, and actually we have been working on it. We will see the results in the following months. But I would love to give our customers time and space to choose, to think about their choices and to suggest them what would be good for them based on their previous preferences.
So, Łukasz, actually what you're saying is that the coffee tech can actually allow the barista to know better the customers, because
Yes.
I understand, based on the history of the purchase, based on the preferences, using AI, right? So you want to replace the perfect Italian barista with AI thing. I hope you're not, but I understand that when I'm entering the coffee place and the barista is actually somehow is connected to my app, right? And he knows, okay, Wiesław, he has drinking the stuff. Probably as a next step of the coffee experience, I can propose him this thing, right? So that's a
Yes.
part of that.
Yes.
That's nice. But on the other hand, there are some kind of customers, they are not expecting, they do not like to talk too much, right? So I just want to take a coffee, but maybe I can try to play with the coffee, right? So then I can actually design my coffee, right? And there is this, we were discussing that there's this company called Roasting Plant in London, right?
Yes, they have few locations, not only one. But
Okay, so
the first one was in London, as far
So
as
actually
I
you're
know.
designing your own coffee, I understand, right?
Yeah,
The-
this
the
is
place.
like a kind of small factory, small plant that you can see the jars with green beans. There is the heart of the roastery, that is the roasting bot, they call it so. And then you can choose, and then they roast those different kinds of beans, green beans, to the roasting beans, and then you can choose your preferable recipes. For example, using 20% of Sumatra, 50% of Ethiopia, and the rest, for example, Brazil. So the task for barista is only to choose the right selection on the dashboard, and coffee goes pneumatically from the jars to the espresso machines, and then you can have the coffee that is designed for you. But of course, there is a question mark if it will taste you or not, because
Exactly.
something should give you some suggestion. Don't do that. Don't do that because you don't like the taste. So this is also some task for this kind of app that can be implemented in that mobile app.
But do you believe that in the future, or maybe it's just the reality, the coffee places will go in the same direction that actually retail stores is not actually heading, right? If you look at 7-Eleven, or even in Poland in Żabka Future Store, right? So there are just small stores totally without people. Amazon actually started
Yes,
it,
yeah,
right? So you're just going, you're taking your stuff, you are paying seamlessly even without, taking out your wallet, and you're just going out. Do you believe that for the coffee experience, it's a good way forward?
I think it will happen, but will not replace the whole market, because people go to the restaurants, to the coffee shops for experience. But this experience is based on many factors. One of the factors is to create relationships with people. But it can be close relationships. It means that I talk to you, you talk to me, but it also be surrounded by people and sitting down there, focus on your own job. So being in the place, crowded place, is also kind of experience. Being the witness of the people at the counter is also the kind of experience. So
Talking to the Italian guys.
yeah, of course, and I think that there will be a group of people that prefer to sit down at the table and not have anybody to talk to in such a place. But there will be a lot of people that are choosing the crowded places with the barista talking about different about different things, etc. So my point is to to give our people, our barista, a lot of space to focus on customer service, to talk about wise or stupid things, to talk about weather, about the sports, about the things from their life. This is the experience. And the technology is only to give them space and tools to be focused on people, not on making just technical things at the back end.
Okay, so because I truly believe that the human experience, it's at the end of the day the crucial thing, right?
Yes, yes, it is, especially in the coffee shop, especially in the coffee industry. This is all about coffee and humans.
Is it? I mean, because we are talking about the coffee tech, right? And you are just running one of the biggest Polish independent coffee places chain, right? ETNO Cafe, right? But when you're thinking about the future of your company, are you thinking about it as a coffee company or maybe as a tech company? And is it a difference?
This is still a coffee company based on 3 legs. So cold brewery, coffee roastery, and coffee shop chain. But we want to implement as much technology as it possible to make us more space for get good experience as a people, not just to be a technical part of the world. Not only. Technology has to be a tool, not a only aim.
Understood, but in the same time, you are saying that you are developing those apps, those technologies, even few startups, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what does it mean for your company, for your team, in terms of competences and way of working?
I think that this is also a good tool that can give our people, if you want to be involved in coffee much more, you can be trained by well-skilled trainers. But if you don't want to do that, you can be only you can base your skills on the technology. This is more like that.
Okay, Łukasz, so just for the finish, any way of we can actually help you, support you in the journey of going into this new thing called coffee tech?
I think that is easily to find me on LinkedIn, and if you have any kind of ideas that can be related to the term of coffee tech that we defined at that meeting, just please send to me, and we will analyze it and we will think how we can apply it to our common business.
Thank you and good luck.
Thank you, Wiesław. Thank you very much.